Okay, so Jordan today is going to be speaking to us on alcoholism.
Okay, mind my man voice, I got sick, so. Okay, picture this. There are these two girls, they were both in high school. They actually went to the same high school I did. They were seniors when I was a freshman. We were all at a party, and they both decided to drink. One was named Alyssa, one was named Courtney. They decided to drink, like I said, and they got in a fight and wanted to both go home. Alyssa was not as bad as Courtney. Courtney could barely walk. I saw her throughout the party. She was stumbling. It was really bad. So Alyssa said she could drive. They got in the car. Shortly after, 10 minutes, Alyssa went straight into a tree going 75 miles per hour, killing her best friend instantly. This was due to alcoholism and alcohol abuse. Now she's having to live her next 20 years of her life in a jail cell, knowing that she killed her best friend. In fact, according to the 2013 article in American Journal of Public Health, alcohol-related motor vehicle crashes are the leading cause of mortality in adolescents. Mothers Against Drunk Driving organization stated in 2013 that an average 1 in 3 people will be affected by alcohol abuse in their lifetime. And this was actually a picture of her car from the accident. So, she survived, the driver. She's still in jail, obviously. So, that's that. Alcoholism is a huge problem worldwide. Affects millions of people every day. There are many ways where alcoholism can be solved, but the person has to want to get help. I've spent the last couple of weeks researching books, magazines, articles. I'm very grateful for talking about this. I've personally dealt with this through my family, and I have many friends who have struggled with this, so I think I have a lot of information on it. First, I'll inform you about the causes of alcohol abuse. Second, I'll inform you of the health risks of alcohol abuse. And lastly, I'll tell you guys about the treatments. According to the 2011 article in New York Times Magazine, there's not one known cause for alcohol abuse, but researchers say there are many triggers for it. Let me tell you about them. There are 3 main causes for alcohol abuse. The first is genes. Scientists don't know exactly what genes and why, but they definitely know it can cause it. So this means that if your parent or someone blood related to you has this problem, you're way more likely to have that problem. The second cause is peer pressure. This is very common in young teens, middle school to college, so kind of like young teens to older teens. This can be a huge problem because a lot of people don't know how to say no. The third cause is depression, and a lot of people deal with their depression the wrong way. They think that turning to alcohol is going to help their problems, but really it just makes their depression even worse. Okay, now that we've learned about the causes of alcohol abuse, let me talk to you guys about the health risks. According to a 2013 article in Healthy Lifestyle magazine, researchers have linked alcohol consumption to 60 diseases. I do not have time to tell you all of them, but I'll tell you about the 5 most common. First, drinking can cause anemia. Anemia is a condition where your blood cells have a lower than normal count of red blood cells. Because drinking causes these blood cells to lower, it can lead to this disease. Second, it can cause cancer. Drinking can cause many types of forms of cancer. The most common are cancer of the mouth, throat, liver, esophagus, and breast. This is a healthy liver to a person who's an alcoholic. So you can just see the difference. Obviously you can see this is just way cleaner. And this is a person that actually I read, he ended up dying at I think he was 35. So it's definitely really serious. I really don't think people take it as serious as it needs to be. The third disease could be cardiovascular disease. Heavy drinking, especially drinking a lot at one time, causes platelets to clump, which is blood cells, and causes blood clots, which can lead to stroke or heart attack. Fourthly, drinking can cause depression. A lot of people think that you get depressed, then you turn to alcohol, but a lot of times it's from drinking so much alcohol that you get depressed. A lot of people don't know that. Lastly, drinking can cause infectious diseases. Not only does drinking suppress your immune system, so you're more likely to get sick or get a cold or a cough, but also you're more likely to participate in unprotected sex, which can cause sexually transmitted diseases. It was actually the leading cause of getting those diseases is from people getting drunk and participating in that stuff. Now I've talked to you guys about the health risks of alcohol abuse. Now I'll talk about the treatments. According to the 2011 article in New York Times Magazine, there are 2 major treatments for alcohol abuse. The first is medication. There are top 3 kinds of medication that are prescribed to people dealing with alcohol abuse. First is acamprosate. It's a drug that has been shown to lower relapse rates in those who are alcohol dependent. The second is disulfiram. This produces an unpleasant side effect for people that take this drug anytime 2 weeks after taking it. So this is for people that don't have the willpower to just stop. They need something like punishment, so it makes them like they're nauseous or anything like that. The last one is naltrexone. It decreases alcohol cravings. So it's just a simple drug you take by mouth, and it's just like when someone wears like a patch for tobacco. Okay, so those are the medications. The second type of treatment is support groups. Most famous is Alcohol Anonymous. This is the biggest support group. It is a self-help group of recovering alcoholics that offers emotional support and specific steps for people recovering from alcohol dependence. There are 2 main goals in this support group. The first and most obvious goal is stop drinking altogether. This is way easier said than done for most alcohol abusers. But if you have friends and family to support you, it'll make it a lot easier to quit. Another goal is drinking in moderation. This is definitely person to person. Sometimes it works for people, sometimes it doesn't. If you're a really bad alcoholic, you can't even have a single sip without wanting more. So it definitely just depends on the person. Some people can drink in moderation and be completely fine, but it just depends on the person. These treatments can really help a person, but a person's going to need to have help to get it. In conclusion today, I have informed you about alcohol abuse. First, I explained the causes of alcohol abuse. Second, I explained the health risks. And lastly, I told you guys about the treatments. Alcoholism is a huge problem worldwide and affects millions of people every day. There are many ways where alcoholism can be solved, but a person wants to have to get help. Okay, so this is my grandpa, and he struggled with being an alcoholic since my mom was born. He actually wasn't even in the delivery room when my grandma gave birth to my mom, so because he was so drunk at home. This was a huge struggle for my mom growing up, not having a dad. My mom was a volleyball player just like I was. He never came to one game of hers, and she played since she was 10 through college. So it was definitely a huge, hard time for my mom to not have a dad. I'm lucky that I have such an amazing dad, and now I have such an amazing grandpa because he is completely sober and has been sober for over 30 years. So he has been the best grandpa to me. He comes to all my games, so he's kind of making up for what he did to my mom, trying to help with me and my siblings. So he's awesome, and it just shows that you can go from a time that's really hard and you don't think you can get through it, and then you can make it happen, make everything better just by the support groups and rehabs and his family being by his side no matter what. So yeah, and remember that with everyone in this room, 1 in every 3 of you will be affected by something related to alcohol abuse in their lifetime. I hope everyone understands how much damage alcohol abuse is doing to everyone. I'm not saying don't drink alcohol, just when you do, please be responsible. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Jessica,